from beautiful, sunny, snowy Winnipeg. Yes, I am in my office, and I hope there's not too much noise coming from my husband banging on things downstairs. But anyway, I wanted to continue talking about this amazing book, Time, Money, Freedom by Ray and Jessica Higdon. And it's subtitled as 10 Simple Rules to Redefine What's Possible and Radically Reshape Your Life. And that's why I want to share this book with you, because it is, in fact, radically reshaping my life. Oh, hi, John. And I would love it to reshape yours, too, if you so desire, of course. So the first couple of rules we talked about earlier, they were, just to make sure I get the wording right, the first one was get upset, which means just don't settle that what you got is what you're going to have forever. And then number two, which is extremely impactful, was pluck your weeds, which is basically find the things, people, behaviors in your life that are not conducive to you achieving what you want to achieve, and do what you can to change them, remove them, etc. Now I'm going to talk about rule number 3, which is take your why and turn it into your vision. And I find that really interesting because, especially in my industry, in network marketing, people talk about your why. You have to have a why that makes you cry and so on. And Ray makes the point that there are people who are going around with the same why for 10 years, whether it's they want to retire their husband or build water wells in Kenya. The why is great, but it doesn't necessarily get you into action. You have to turn it into a vision. So what is that about? So just some a little quoting from this book. Obviously, I'm not going to read it all to you, but so it says, why do you want more money, time, or freedom? What will you do with them? Whom do you want to be? How do you want to be remembered? So these are questions that they ask about this. So the first action item that they have is it's important to know your why and then move into your vision. So you need to ask yourself, why do you want more than what you have right now? Maybe you don't. Maybe you're perfectly happy where you are and you don't have any ambition to move on from that, and that's totally fine. But if you do, then you have to ask yourself what your why is. And then to make an interesting point, a why is usually external, meaning it's outside of you. I want to build water wells in Kenya. I want to build schools in Guatemala. I want to send my kids to private school, or I want to help my partner retire. By the way, that I want to send my kids to private school was a very important why for Susan Sly at the beginning of her career. She wanted to send her daughter Avery to a better school, and so she worked really, really hard. Because Susan is not like the people that he's talking about here. And he says, when you state your why, the people around you will usually applaud and think highly of you. And I just have to read you the next few lines just because they're funny. Wow, they'll say, patting you on the back. Oh, that's so admirable that you want to give your husband the freedom to retire. Meanwhile, the poor schmuck has been working for the last 9 years while you've had this great why and are collecting applause for it without actually making it happen. So, yeah, obviously Ray does not have a hugely, Ray and Jessica do not have a huge opinion, very high opinion of people who talk about their why but don't actually do anything. So how do you make yourself do the things that you say you want? You know, this is a really important question, and that's why this rule is so important. Because there's a lot of us, and I have been as guilty as anyone else, who walk around for years saying that we want something, and then we don't do the things that are required to be done in order for it to happen. So that's when I talk about the vision as opposed to the why. The vision is who you want to become in order to accomplish that why. So it's not external, like a desire to help your husband retire or build schools in a developing country. It's internal. It's about who you want to be as a person. So that makes a huge difference, because here, for example, they say, I want to become the type of person who is able to send busloads of kids in foster care to Disneyland, which Ray and Jessica have done. I want to be the type of person who is asked to speak on stage and share my story. Or even, I want to become the type of person who is able to help my partner retire. So, when you have a vision of whom you want to be, you get more of an inner push to do those things. And I'm just going to go through this because there's various talk about their vision and so on, which is really interesting, but you should read it. And then there's an interesting section here about reverse engineer your why. So it's interesting. This is basically, you need to figure out, they call it reverse engineering your why, to figure out how much money would you need to make if you wanted to build water wells in Kenya. I mean, it's just a digress here. It's debatable whether you should be building water wells in Kenya, but that's not what they're talking about here. And then I say, moving on, it says start small and grow. So that's the other thing. If you want to help feed the hungry, you don't need to wait until you've built a foundation that can feed 1,000 families. Start with feeding one. And then we see, find your platform. That's also really important. Figure out how you're going to do the things to achieve what you want. It could be sales, it could be coaching, it could be marketing, it could be teaching. Lots of possibilities, but make a decision so that you're not running around like a headless chicken trying to do everything at once. And then you can change. You're not locking yourself into this for life, but it is important to research. And then the final step, which is the most important, well, actually this isn't the final step, but it is a very important. It says step 4, take the leap. Okay, you don't need to quit your job or make any huge changes, but take a step. I think it's Rain Jessica who said, I've been listening to so many motivational books lately, who say that you can't make it to home plate if you don't get off first base. I don't really know much about baseball, but at least I know that you have to get off one base in order to get to the next one. So you have to just stop planning and figuring out and researching and just do something. This is a huge step for a lot of people. So it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to get it wrong. Just start with a small step. Don't try and change your whole life at once. And then finally, they say in step 5, finally in this chapter, let your vision evolve. Okay, they talk about Ray had several failed ventures into being an entrepreneur, including a failed real estate company and a failed advertising franchise that he spent $40,000 to start. When you go into network marketing, you're not spending that kind of money, etc. So it's okay to make changes in what you're doing. You end up, you start something, choose something, just start, and then go on from there. Okay, I want to keep this under 10 minutes. I hope this was helpful, and I'm just going to hold this so you can see it. I hope this was helpful. If it was, I hope you will comment, like, share all the things that the social platforms love so much, social media platforms. And also I have a PDF that I made with 13, count them, 13 ways to reduce stress in this difficult time. If you would like to have that PDF, just drop me a message. I will be thrilled to send it to you. So you have a great day. Remember, I love you. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.